NC State's trying to get to bowl eligibility this week. The Wolfpack 5-5. They are at 6-4 Georgia Tech. This is the primetime national TV game Thursday night, 7:30 on ESPN. The Yellow Jackets a 9-point home favorite at Bobby Dodd Stadium in Atlanta.
Yeah, even though the Wolfpack has only 2 regular season games left, imagine how different the conversation will be in December around 12th year Wolfpack coach Dave Doeren. If he wins these last 2 games at Georgia Tech on Thursday night, and then, of course, at UNC next weekend, compared to if he loses both games. If you finish 7-5, and maybe you win your bowl game to get to 8-5, that's essentially the continuation of a pretty positive theme, right? No, Doeren, I get it. He has not taken the Pack to the proverbial next level, but it would still be 10 bowl invitations for the Pack in the last 11 years. In the entire 17-team ACC, only Clemson has been to the postseason more often than the Wolfpack during that stretch. And Coach Doeren, again, if he finished 8-5, would be right at his average of roughly 8 wins per year over these last 11 years. That's the sign of a stable, solid program, even if you're willing to admit the weaknesses and the inefficiencies. The highs have not been extremely high in Raleigh under Coach Doeren, but the extreme lows have been pretty few and far between. Contrast that picture to if the Pack loses to the Yellow Jackets, loses to the Heels, and finishes 5-7, which, of course, means you miss the postseason entirely, and that could happen. State in that scenario would finish 2-6 in ACC play, and Dave Doeren's ACC record would fall all the way to 6 games below 500. That's in conference play over the course of his entire 12-year tenure there. That would definitely leave a lot of wolves howling, as that saying goes. Now, regarding this challenge on Thursday night, it will be the Yellow Jackets' final home game and thus their senior day. So there's going to be a lot of emotion tied to that fact. Even more emotion because it's that nationally televised game that Chris described without a lot of football-related competition on TV on a Thursday night. And perhaps yet another emotional boost for the Tech fan base because remember, the Jackets are coming off their 28-23 upset of previously unbeaten Miami. Georgia Tech is a very physical team under Coach Brent Key, their head coach, who's a former Georgia Tech offensive lineman who prefers to try to run the ball down your throat more than anything else. Miami's defense last week week before it was, simply could not get off the field, even though the Hurricanes knew that the Yellow Jackets were running the ball the overwhelming majority of the time. One of the trickiest wrinkles in this game from the Wolfpack perspective is for the Pack's defensive coordinator, Tony Gibson. He has to prepare his team for 2 quarterbacks. The regular Tech starter, veteran Haynes King, is that dangerous dual threat guy we've often talked about, but he has an injury that does not prevent him from running. He had 20 carries for almost 100 yards and a touchdown against the Miami Hurricanes, but that same injury has complicated Haynes King's throwing ability, and it's really obvious on video. So when he's in the game, it's most likely to be a run. Well, the other Tech quarterback, Aaron Philo, which we haven't seen a lot of, he's been executing kind of the more complete version of the playbook. He with more run-pass balance. He's not a runner himself, but he throws the ball better than the injured Haynes King does. So the Wolfpack's preparation and execution on defense will be tied directly to which quarterback is in the game at any given time. So that preparation and execution is going to be central to the Wolfpack's hopes for an upset on Thursday night.